Like literally, like if someone came up to me when I was like 17 years old, it was like, yo, in 2011 when you're 21, you're gonna go on tour with Saves a Day and like play shows with bands that you loved, I would punch them in the face and call them a liar.
So you guys are about to drop, you're on the cusp of dropping your third full length.
Yes.
Listen and Forgive. Tell me about the production process. How did it differ from the others? Was there any similarities? Did you do anything differently?
It was very, very different from anything we've done in the past. The whole like back line of the record was tracked live, like we were all in the same room. And like everybody was tracking at the same time. Like we did a lot of overdubs after, but it gave the whole record like a really cool feel. Like overall, like it just like feels like a band like playing. Like it just feels good.
Live feel.
Yeah, it has a very live feel to it.
So we demoed maybe 20 songs as well, and we were at the studio every day for like 4 months.
Yeah. When we write songs, when we write records, we never sit down and we're like, yo, it should sound like this. Like we always just kind of write what comes out. You feel me on that? Like, no, we didn't. Like it was cool because for the first time, musically, the whole record was written with all of us in a room, like in the small little practice space that we had. And like it was cool because everybody had like whether or not it started off with like a riff that like me or you brought from home, like everybody was there to like put their 2 cents in. And I don't know, we never had a direction for it. It just kind of happened how it happened.
Sometimes the songs just kind of write themselves.
Exactly.
A lot of it has to do with like the time of year, what we're listening to, what we've been going through, who we're friends with, like who we're hanging out with all the time.
Yeah.
You know, just coming off a tour, being home for too long. There's so many variables.
Yeah.
So.
I think that a lot of it has to do with like we played in this band for like we've been a band for what, like 5 or 6 years now, and I think that as we've matured as people, our music has definitely matured as well. And I think like we kind of grew up in this band, and I guess that maybe that's where somewhat of a more mature sound comes from. Like maybe it's that, or I don't know.
Yeah, we're just trying to better everything. Like there's formulas that we'll use, like we'll reuse, but like we always try to just up everything at the same time. Like make the beats better, like make the drums better, make the guitar riffs better.
We're just always looking for chord progression,
vocal range, the lyric quality, lyric content. It's all kind of moving at once. So
we're just trying to get better.
Yeah, always.
Get better.
Lyrically, it seems that you're still somewhat writing somewhat of a dark lyrics, and it's contrasting with the upbeat sound that you guys are making.
Yeah, that's what I think that might be my favorite part about it.
Yeah.
Because like people hear the songs, they're like, oh, it's a way more happy record, but the lyrical content is absolutely not. So it's this weird, like it's just this weird limbo between the two, and I think that's, I don't know. Personally, I think it's eerie and cool.
I think it's the coolest. I think it's the coolest. It is the coolest.
The general theme is like, I don't know, I kind of have to compare it to like Keep It to Yourself. It was more like an album about like, you know, this is what I hate about people. Like, look what you did to me. Like, you know, how could you treat someone this way? And that was the like, general theme to it. And like this album is more like me maturing, getting older, learning how to like, you know, coping with things and learning how to forgive people. I feel like the strongest, one of the hardest things to do in life is to really learn how to. There's 2 things. It's like really listening to someone when they're talking to you and not just waiting for your time to speak, and forgiving people for their shortcomings, because we all have them, and you know we're all just animals, we're all just people, so it's not really like no one's perfect kind of deal. So I mean to bring the mood down, but
I'm gonna take a walk.
Tell me what it's like touring with bands that are veterans of the road. Do you guys take as much as possible away from those bands?
Definitely. I mean, it's intimidating to a point. Like, just especially like doing these couple tours that we've done with Bayside already. Like, just watching them play. Like, they are immaculate, like they don't make mistakes.
Yeah,
And then I'll just like watch them and be like, cool, wish I was better at guitar. Like, it's cool because it pushes you, because you don't want to sound like a pussy. Like, you know, like you want to sound good. Like, you don't want to have them make you look like shit. So it's really cool. And I mean, just them as people is awesome. And like, we get to learn a lot from them. We get to like see how they do things, because they're obviously experienced and damn good at what we do. But I mean, just from like an outside perspective too, like the fact that like we're going on tour with like bands that are reasons why we make music is just fucking weird.
Surreal,
yeah.
It's cool. It'll be a cool experience.
You never expected them to like, you know, take us under their wing kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You always just assume like, oh, like, we're like Wayne's were like, we're not worthy, blah blah blah. Like, you know, you kind of assume like, oh, they're so great.
Yeah.
And they are great bands, but you know, they're really open to the newer guys, and you know, they just want to support us because they like what we do, and you know.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it goes both ways. The fact that we have made friends from other states and other countries just because of playing music and like getting together through that is the coolest thing on earth. So like, obviously it's like, it's this strange like community, and like it's cool like to be able to like tour with your friends and to like see your friends do cool things. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's really cool.
It's cool to share the same, you know, it's the same passion with people from other places, because you know, when you're home, you only see what's around you, and you only see like, you know, the same friends or the same band. So
yeah,
it's cool to go other places and find such a I don't know, so you can just, it's cool to go other places and just relate to people that you wouldn't assume you would or could.
And like nothing really else matters, like, other than the fact that we all just like play in bands and we just like tour and play music. Like, it doesn't matter like how old any of us are. It doesn't matter like what you did when you were younger. Like, it's just cool because you find this common ground. So it's like, I don't know, it's just nice to make friends with that, and it's so cool to see people do things.
And how differently everyone's approach is to
to see bands evolve and progress is awesome.
It's a really cool thing.